All right, again, welcome everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe that today is December the 1st. I'm not sure where another year has went, but it's speeding by on us. Item number 4, visitor public comments. I think we have some. Correct. Okay, we have one this morning, and it's Robin, Jackie, and Robin, I don't want to butcher your last name. Missouri, okay. I would have got it wrong, so please come on forward.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm representing a group of landowners in Medina County that are impacted by the segments of the Howard-Solstice transmission line project. Not all of us could be here today, so we are asking that that project, that topic, be added to the next Commissioner Court's meeting on December 15th, because there are people in the group that could not be here today, and they would be able to be here on the 15th. So if that could be done, if we could be put back on the agenda so that we can present more information. We do realize that you guys have done a resolution. You've drafted it so far. I don't think you've gotten it approved or sent it off yet.
It's approved.
Okay. Our question about the resolution is that hopefully we were hoping for something that was more specific and more strongly worded. And the reason why we are hoping for that, there is a docket that the Public Utility Commission has already set up. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It's docket 58-545. And it has other, for example, Edwards County has submitted a protest resolution to that docket that is more strongly worded and more specific. So we are hoping for something similar from our county. This docket also has letters of protest, obviously from landowners, but also from elected officials. Wes Verdell, Senator Pete Flores, there's another group of House representatives from other districts that have all submitted protest letters to that docket. One thing that the Edwards County has put in their resolution is an allotment of $5,000 to fight against this. So that's something that we're hoping that we will be able to put in writing as well. That's basically all I have to share with you guys today, but we would like to be back on the agenda so that we could present more information and have all our members here.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. If you have anything specific, you're welcome to send it to my office, like any of those recommendations. If you want to email them to me, would be great.
At what point would we know whether it can be put back on the agenda?
Once we get all that, and we'll take a look at it, and then we'll certainly can let you know. That's not a problem.
So we should submit things to you?
Please.
Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah, because if we bring it up and we don't have anything like structured, it's not going to be very effective. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we'll get that to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, y'all are certainly welcome. We'd love for you to spend the rest of the morning with us here. Stay as long as y'all like. We moved pretty fast actually this morning, I think, so that's good. Okay, item number 5 is presentation of Sexual Assault Response Team, or SART. That's the biennial report. Kathleen, I think you're going to present this morning.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you here this morning on behalf of the SART. And I passed out through Jennifer a revised biennial report this morning. I had sent a draft in last week that you received in advance. The numbers changed just a bit. I was waiting to get information from all of the partners. And so the beginning is very self-explanatory about what SART is, why it was created. And so last year, you may remember at your 30th of December meeting, Scott Simpson from our office at the DA's office made a presentation to you. So we're required to present a report by the 1st of December of every odd number year, but since he did one last year, this report only includes the figures from December 30th until now. So it's about 11 months. So we met 5 times. I put in your report all the different members of the different agencies that met. The protocol that was created in 2022 and executed provided for the SART group to invite other members of the community, and we have grown a bit, and we now have members reporting from Castroville PD, the Lytle Police Department, Natalia Police Department. The original sex assault nurse examiners group that was through the hospital group in San Antonio has been replaced by a company called the Forensic Center of Excellence. So what's really good about that is that those nurses that are trained to collect forensic information are mobile. They don't have a location that a victim is required to go to. They will come into Medina County, and they have contracts with the Medina hospital system to just use a room. The data doesn't go through the hospital system or they're a patient there. All that data is collected by the Forensic Center of Excellence, but it's something that we hope will help encourage victims to not be inconvenienced by having to keep going and reporting to several different locations. So we're excited about that. And then other non-statutory attendees that participated were from the Department of Family and Protective Services and the Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities and Mental Health Clinic. So as part of my report today, I just want to let you know that we met the required 4 hours of training, and that consisted of general training and collaboration between all the partners as to how we can make the process better for the victims of sex assault. And also, we had the Forensic Center of Excellence give a presentation on how their positions worked and what they do. And then we had a training on interviewing victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. And then Wayne Springer, our director, shared a training manual, the Sexual Assault Toolkit, detailing investigative information that was particularly helpful to our law enforcement members. So the part on page 4, the partial biennial summary with 2025 figures only, has that the law enforcement agencies received 31 calls for investigations of sexual assault at the 911 call center. I don't know where the breakdown occurred. I just started collecting all this information in the past 2 weeks. I'm new to the DA's office, so I wasn't here. I just started in March, so I've been in a few of these meetings, and I was trying to recreate information, but I got the 911 call center log from the sheriff's office, and we know that there were 31 total calls. Only 4 of those were investigated as a result of those reports, 2 by Medina County Sheriff's Office and 2 by Hondo PD. Those are still in the process of being worked up, so none of those cases have been presented yet to the DA's office for presentation of a packet to the grand jury for an indictment. So we do not have any of those indictments. One thing that's a positive with the funding that was provided by, I believe it was the governor's office, to test old sex assault nurse examiner kits, those forensic kits. We've sent off 25 kits to be examined, and we're hoping to get hits on some of those. So we may have more of a report for you as to cases that actually made it into the system to be prosecuted at the next report. I also want to let you know that there is a legislative update that has a requirement that I wanted to bring to y'all's attention. It starts on page 4 and goes into page 5. And so there were 3 sections of subchapter J of the local government code that requires a few changes. So the first one is with respect to the evidence collection kits. That section 321.257A3A Roman numeral 5 would require a report by us when we give you the annual report if there were any evidence collection kits that were not collected timely and sent off for review. And so at this point, we don't have any of those. Section 2, well actually number 2, that's my number 2, section 351.257B, not later than February 1st of each even-numbered year, a Commissioners Court of each county that receives a report described by subsection A during the preceding year shall submit that report to the Sexual Assault Survivors Task Force established under section 772.0064 of the Government Code. And then 3, if those things were not done, non-compliance, section 351257 could be used to determine eligibility for receiving grant funds from the office of the governor or another state agency. So in summary, there's a reticence to reporting these types of crimes. There's often a power dynamic involved, as well as traditional and cultural ideas about the definition of sexual assault. So a lot of older people have an idea that, if you put yourself in a vulnerable position, sometimes you get what you get. You shouldn't have put yourself in that vulnerable position. So they don't feel like they can report it, that maybe they contributed to the act. Younger people have received a lot of training in consent with sexual encounters and what consent means and how far to go. A lot of colleges and high schools and their health classes have been providing those kind of training. So younger people have a different cultural perspective about what sexual assault is. So although there were very few sexual assaults reported to law enforcement that ended up being worked up, there were 11 reported to the Forensic Center of Excellence. So some of those were people that came to Medina County to make their report, but the actual offense occurred outside of the county, somewhere at Indian reservations, somewhere in Del Rio, but when they got away and got to a safe place, they reported here, but jurisdiction of a criminal case would not occur here. The jurisdiction of the criminal case is where the offense occurred. So that also helps explain a little bit of the difference in the numbers. We've created and distributed to all of our partners a consent form to explain to the victims that SART exists. We want them to agree that we can discuss their individual case at our meetings. They would be anonymous to us with the respect of the discussion, but it's the idea that us discussing with all the law enforcement partners, the hospital partner, the state examiner, the medical counseling teams, the family violence shelter, that all of those groups together might be able to create a better system. And so we're asking all of them to allow us to discuss their cases. And so all the partners now have that consent form for the victims to be presented at the initial contact, either through the forensic nurse examiner or for the reporting law enforcement. And the parties of the group of the SART are actively educating the public. So we provide information as we encounter those who call for help. Recently, my office, we presented a case in court a few weeks back where a woman, there was a man who was on probation with our office for assaulting another woman. It was a felony assault. And so part of those conditions always are that you cannot commit another crime, either federal, state crime, have any contact with law enforcement while you're on probation. Well, he actually had a very bad assault of a different girlfriend, a subsequent girlfriend, where he put a belt around her neck, dragged her around the house with the belt, lifted her up. The assault took place for about 6 hours, ultimately resulting in a sexual act. And the lady did not say no. She didn't say, no, I don't consent to this. So she believed that that was not a sexual assault. In the presentation of our evidence, I presented that he didn't allow her to leave, so it was unlawful restraint. I presented the aggravated assault, the choking, and did not proceed on the sexual assault strategically because that jurisdiction of those 3 cases lies in Bexar County, and I didn't want there to be any waffling of the testimony in our case that would impact Bexar County. But then what I did is I followed up and I called the Bexar County DA's office and let them know that we do believe it's a good sexual assault, and gave them the information that they would need, and told them we'd have more after we get to the sentencing phase should they want it for their case. So as partners, we're still working together, but we instructed and trained her that somebody's not allowed to beat you up for 6 hours and then when you're too weak to say no, have a sexual act with you, and that absolves that person of sexual assault just because she didn't say no. In addition, as far as the low numbers, we're not alone. There are published accounts of reports from other small counties that also have low numbers. So on the positive side, one of our members, Detective Ryan Murphy at the Hondo Police Department, suggested that maybe we're not receiving as many reports of sexual assault because maybe the numbers are actually lower due to this education amongst the younger population. What is consent? Maybe there are actually less attacks or less unwanted sexual encounters because of that. So that would be great. We really don't know, but that was one of the suggestions. So in summary, the members of the Medina County SART stand together to empower the victim and make the investigatory and prosecution parts of the experience less traumatic for them. And we want the public to know that we're here to coordinate with each other to help them achieve justice on these particularly traumatic cases. Thank you for your time today.
Any questions? If we go back to the section 351, 257, the only question I have is your office, because I know it has the part in here about Commissioners Court, the responsibility of the court. Are y'all handling that the entire way? Y'all will take us through that and documenting these?
The changes?
Right.
So part of the requirements for SART is to review after each legislative session if there's been any changes and let you all know in this report. So yes, that would be one of our requirements that I foresee going forward.
Okay, so y'all, I mean, like section 2 where it talks about the court being responsible for submitting the report. Y'all, will you all be getting, if there were this, if we have that, would you all be putting that report together and making sure that the court had that?
You know, I would need to check with Mark Havey and see if
I'd
that
like
was
to
something.
find that. I mean, it's one of those things that we certainly don't think about all the time. It seems like it'd be really easy to fall through the cracks.
Sure. Can I get back to you in a couple of weeks? He's out of the country this week.
No, that'd be great.
Okay, thanks, Judge. I'd be happy to do that.
And then the only other question that I had on the Forensic Center of Excellence. So did they launch that, the actual Forensic Center of Excellence in November of last year? Is
Yes.
it, so it's new?
It's new.
And then we've been with them since March? Is that correct? It says,
No, I don't know where are we looking at exactly? May I
right at
have
the top of page 4.
No, they gave a training in March. So they have been available to Medina County since November, but at the SART quarterly meeting in March, they made a presentation
Okay.
for the training.
Any questions on the board?
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, item number 6, discuss and take possible action to consider an order instituting a countywide burn ban. How about y'all? I'm glad we don't have to talk about these anymore. Somebody send some more in.
Good morning, Judge. Morning, Commissioners. So we're, as of yesterday, we're at 658 on the KPDI. I had really hoped, you know, we were told we enter into La Nina this year, that there would be potential of a weather change that we might start seeing a little more rain. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen much. I don't know what to say. Even all of our friends at the Weather Service are saying the same thing. There's just not much. This last little rain we got, if you saw it, most of it came right across the mountains in Mexico. And we were kind of fortunate to get that little bit, but it was just a little bit.
Well, long term doesn't look too promising.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, my recommendation on it, if somebody is going to do a motion, that we make it effective today, December 1st at 11:59 p.m. because that's always one of the questions, so we need to fit into the order.
I would make a motion to be order that the institute national winter burn ban, starting at 11:59 p.m. today.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Sitter, second by Commissioner Lawler to enter order instituting a countywide burn ban effective December 1st at 11:59 p.m. Any further discussion?
You're right, no cooking, no more fire back.
They don't,
Get all this over with.
they don't count birds as stickers on the sticker stuff, do they?
I guess you just keep it under the shed.
There's no grass there.
I'm fair.
sign. Motion carries. All right, item 7, discuss and take possible action to enter order prohibiting selling, detonating, igniting, or in any way using certain fireworks in the unincorporated areas of Medina County, Texas.
Yes, sir, Judge and Commissioners, and I want to say thanks to Jennifer. She actually reminded me about this one. So this pertains to what is commonly referred to as sticks and pins. It's just the certain types of aerial ones, and those are the ones that traditionally are more likely to cause fires. It's not necessarily the aerial mortars that burst up there, because by the time they get to the ground, most of that is already dissipated. The ones that are a danger are the ones that, you remember when we were kids, we had what they call bottle rockets and things like that. Those typically, especially if you have one that goes errant and doesn't go where you wanted it to go, will be the first ones to face plant right into something, and those are the more dangerous ones when you're in this kind of condition. So it would not prohibit the sale of all fireworks. That would be specific to those types of fireworks.
That's on the law book right now.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I may or may not have been chased by some of those who don't like
Yeah.
Yeah,
errant ones. Yeah. Aaron, that, Commissioner Lynch?
Yeah, rockets with sticks, missiles with pins.
Exactly.
right.
Those are the ones we don't like.
I know there's been a lot of laws changing this stuff, and it seems like the fireworks people have more lobbyists than the developers do nowadays, and they have really shoved a bunch of stuff down our throat, and we can't do a whole lot about it. Is everything you're doing in this within the realm?
Yes, sir.
Of the new laws?
Yes, well, and they're, this last time they were trying to get, to do away with this, where you couldn't prohibit it all. Actually, trying to get it where Commissioner Court would have zero oversight on it. They could just do fireworks year round, basically. So that's
And if
I'm
you
sure they'll be
haven't-
back next year.
If you haven't walked into one of the warehouses that sell these things yet, I don't know how people can afford some of the packages. Some of the packages of fireworks that they're selling are up to $3,500 in these packages that they purchase right there. And people go in there with grocery buggies, basically, just filling them with these things. It's crazy the amount of money that, it's not like when I was a kid, fireworks were fairly inexpensive. And now it's very lucrative.
I'll make an order
Make it order.
order.
Well,
I'll make a motion to enter an order prohibiting selling, detonating, igniting, or in any way using certain fireworks in the unincorporated areas of Medina County, Texas.
Second.
I have a motion as stated by Commissioner Lynch, seconded by Commissioner Castiglione. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Item number 8, discuss and take possible action to approve a change order form amending the previous order forms executed in association with the agreement with Green Central Incorporated for the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office. You all have that in there. They are adding 5 phones. Of course, this is across the 5 counties. And then this is doing their, extending their contract on the phone system that they use for another, was it 2 years or 3? I was trying to remember. It was either 2 or 3 year contract. I don't remember how long it was. Was it 2? Oh, there, I'm sorry, Vanessa, I didn't see it. 2 years. Sorry. 2 years. Good.
Judge, if I may, these are for the new mental health employees that we did receive a grant for. So if you remember, there was a change order back in August. This is a little different because they've chosen to actually purchase these phones instead of leasing them, correct? So we do have, the funds available for that. We just might have to do a line item transfer at some point to cover the costs for this.
The 5 additional were for those
Yes,
Right.
the 5 additional that you see in this change order.
I will make a motion to approve a change order form amending the previous order forms executed in association with the agreement with Ring Central Inc. for the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office.
Second.
Have a motion is stated by Commissioner Lynch, seconded by Commissioner Waller. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9, discuss and take possible action to accept a donation to the Medina County WIC Department from South Plains Community Action Association Incorporated of a 2026 Ford Explorer valued at $40,367.53 pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 81.032. You all have the letter from the Community Action Partnership that explains that they received those funds through a grant, and that they are, as part of the agreement for WIC, that they are going to donate the vehicle. I actually just got an email about 30 minutes ago that we're trying to find out where they deliver the car to, so apparently they're,
My house.
they've got me, apparently they've got it ready to go.
I'll make a
We'll
motion.
do all that rap that says WIC.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the donation of $40,367.53 pursuant to local government code 81.032.
Second.
I have a motion as stated by Commissioner Silver, second by Commissioner Castiglione. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss and take possible action to approve the following Commissioners Court meeting minutes. It's October 20th, November 3rd, and November 17th. Before we have a motion on them, and I just actually didn't look at these till this morning, and I don't know if you noticed on here that we had it corrected where the vote was showing like the ayes, like who was doing it, and it's reverted back to, now it just says vote 4-0, it doesn't say ayes, and I don't know what happened.
It
So-
says what?
On the vote, now it just says vote 4-0. We had that corrected to where it was saying like how many ayes and how many nays, and like who was doing that. But on this set, on all 3 of these, it's like reverted back. So I don't know if there's something in the software that we need to call them again. or
It may have, because that's all pre-entered in, yeah.
Well, we had to call them a while back and we fixed it, but now it's back to.
I'll
not
ask them
correct.
to go look in there.
Yeah, so my recommendation is we table these so we can get them corrected, because that was one of the things, it just says it's a 4-0 vote, it doesn't tell you what
Yeah,
the,
okay.
it doesn't say that who in that,
This is for, again.
correct. Yeah, it doesn't say even for it,
It says vote tally, it has a vote tally, but I'll say if it's for, again.
Yeah, so I'd say we just let them fix these and then we'll bring them back with the others.
Okay,
And then
we'll look
y'all-
at it.
We'll let y'all see what that is.
Okay.
And I gotta, last time you told us it was something like, they did something and it fixed it.
Okay.
So I don't know if it just reverted back or what's happened.
It might have just hit a glitch,
Right,
reverted
that's
back
what
to
I'm
it, like
If they
if
do
we have
look
a power
at-
outage
yeah,
or
it'll
something.
Look a little deeper at why it's.
Okay, we'll call them and talk to them and see why it did it. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So are y'all good with just tabling those?
Yes, so when I was reviewing those, I was looking at the October 20th agenda,
Uh-huh.
and on item 9, when we were discussing the outdoor burning, it says no action taken on the item, and then it says vote 0-4. So it's either one or the other.
Okay, I'll look at that as well.
So there's got to be something with the software that is not working correctly.
Okay, all right.
Excellent. Okay, item 11, discuss and take possible action to approve personnel action forms.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. All right, so we have a couple PAFs. So the first one we have is for employee named Rhonda Brass and the department head Patricia Meckler, and that is for dismissal. Next, we have a PF for Nathaniel Ramos under Department Head Keith Lutz, and that is for increase with an improved slot. Next PF we have is for Beverly Ham under Department Head Ruby Galstein, and that is for a change in pay schedule, and it does explain the remarks below updating supplemental fees. Next, we have employee named Rachel Ramirez under Department Head Ruby Galstein, and that one is an increase with an improved slot. Also, to see remarks down below. Let's see, next PF we have is for employee named Trinity Mitchell under Department Head Randy Brown, and that is a new hire. Next, we have employee Alyssa Rivas under Department Head Randy Brown, and that one is for dismissal. Next PF we have is for Deanna Allen under Department Head Carly Cannell, and that one is a new hire. Next PF we have is for Kumari Dolphin, and that is under Department Head Carly Cannell as well for a new hire. Next we have is Melissa Cabello under Department Head Carly Cannell, and that one is also for a new hire. We have another new hire for Robin Morrison under Department Head Carly Cannell. Again, that is a new hire. Oh, and that's the last one.
I'll make a motion to approve the personal action forms.
Got a motion by Commissioner Castiglione to approve the personal action forms, seconded by Commissioner Sitter. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item number 12, discuss and take possible action to approve the line item transfers.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. We only have one line item transfer, and as you notice, it does have a date for prior fiscal year. The reason being because it took a while for us to get the invoices in and paid for the actual body worn camera. So this is just a line item for the actual match. And the sheriff did sign in November. That's why it's a little bit late, but it is for prior fiscal year. We'll make that adjustment for prior fiscal year. And there are funds available to make this transfer.
I'll make the motion that we approve the line item transfer.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Waller to approve the line item transfer, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 13, discuss and take possible action to approve accounts payable.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, total accounts payable is $566,063.67. One wire to P-Fleet for $11,396.72. Also, we have replenished the jury card for $406. And then all of your other invoices over $10,000 on your cover sheet.
I just wanted to let y'all know that there is a missing sheet.
Page 8.
Yep, correct. All right.
Do you have page 8?
I do.
That's 7 and 9.
Yep.
And that's all the precincts, not all the precincts, but precinct.
Precinct 2
2 and 3.
portion of 3.
No idea.
And this is 6 and 8.
I print this off the email, so I don't know.
So
Yeah, so we're missing pages 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so basically all of the evens.
Even numbers.
All of the even numbers.
You know what? I bet she sent it two-sided in the copier.
Yeah, we just
Yes.
add it in.
It
Yes.
is, because I'm two-sided.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I saw it electronically, so I could look at it, but on the actual printout in the booklet, we're missing the even number pages.
Okay.
Do y'all want to get,
If you've seen it.
You want, y'all want my copy? I mean, y'all are welcome to this.
I'd like to just glance.
yeah, and we could just, if you don't mind, we could do a couple of items and come back. Do you want to just go make copies? Would you mind just running copies of it?
Okay.
Please. That would be
I
better.
thought that's when she printed it two-sided and she scanned it to email it.
Yeah, get on the scan to the.
They're gonna
Just
take that one
scan it,
part.
yes.
Yeah, because we
Because I was
just.
looking at the email she sent, and it is missing.
We'll get that. We're gonna, let's set that to the side for just a moment. Let's go ahead and go to 14, disbursement, discuss and take possible action to approve the disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting. Control.
Agreed.
Well, I think this one, I think it's the same thing as this page 1 and 2.
Yep, I want to do it.
So, okay. Jennifer, would you ask her to do that one as well?
Yeah.
So with that, let's move to 15. Let's move to 15 and we'll come back and pick up 13 and 14. Okay, item 15, take possible action to set fees, establish timelines, and approve an application process to close, abandon, or vacate a public road in Medina County. I know we handed these out a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully you all had time to look through them. One of the items that that's not in there that would need to be discussed is on page 2, which is the administrative cost to do this. Jennifer and I spoke a little bit about it, so this would be like the application fee to do this. We thought like doing $250 for it. If you do, in our subdivision rules and regulations, if you do an amendment, it's $200. If you do a revision, it's $500. So that was our thoughts talking about it.
So within an hour.
So,
I'm fine with that.
and I believe that was the only thing, Maggie, right, that we needed to have. That was the fee, correct?
Actually, the two items above that on step 2, we also need to set, when the applicant's submitting a copy of their application, they need to also include a survey and an appraisal. And we need to set a timeline of how current we need that to be. Keeping in mind that, once an applicant files their petition with the county clerk's office, then that's got to be posted both publicly, but then also near the location of the section of road that's going to be done for, I believe, at least 20 days. And so I would, you want a current survey, you want a current appraisal. I think, timing it probably, within 60 to 90 days is probably reasonable. If you've got that together, considering they're going to have the posting requirement.
And I was thinking like maybe those two items, 6 months, because you just never know. People are working through the process. Maybe they're talking to other neighbors. Maybe they're working, trying to work through items and to make sure we're doing
I
it
think
enough
30
time.
days is too short.
And 30 days is
90 days goes by so fast.
You can't get a survey in 30 days.
Right. Well, what this is saying is that what we're saying is the survey could be up to 6 months old. What you're providing and the appraisal.
Yeah, I'll have
So
to-
we could be working off of a 6-month-old appraisal and a 6-month-old, but to me that gives reasonable time because I just, in this process, they'll have to work with neighbors, they'll have to do those things, and something may come up in it, they may have to renegotiate with the neighbors and figure it all out. I just think it,
Well, like I say, it's
Yeah,
not,
that's
and
what it's
then it comes back to, Maggie, and then she's got to okay the contract to sell. Like I say, I've done three or four of these, and it's gonna take 3 to 4 months.
well, we're talking about the time though to get up to a valid application.
Right.
So it could be 6 months old at that point, it could take us another month, 2 months to get through the process, as long as it wasn't over 6 months old when we initiated the application.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's,
Being reasonable to everybody. So with that, we have those two items, so it'd be the 6 months for the current survey and the current appraisal, could be more than, within 6 months, and then an administrative cost would be $250.
I've looked this over and I don't have any problem with it. Probably think it's a good idea, however, I do have a different problem. Danny and Jessica, I don't think have been involved in any of these, but Larry has, on the ones that we did in Dennis, which is what this is speaking about. And our previous judge had a process that was different than what we're doing now. It was probably incorrect, but it was our process nonetheless, where people would come and, like, for example, the alleyways in Dennis that were never built, but they were platted. And so people's backyards butt up against these alleyways, they were using them, they wanted to close them up and become part of their actual property. We were under the understanding that the county did not have authority over those alleys, that they were just no man's land. The property owners didn't own them, county didn't own them, they were part of a municipality, they were never built, they were never deeded to the county. And so our process at that point was for them to come to us and say, we want to close off the road. We would tell them to talk to their landowners, get us a survey, so they had to expend some money on a survey, and come to us, and we would, through the court process, give them a warranty, a deed without warranty, which is kind of nonsensical because we don't own it, so it's hard to give them a deed. But we did it without warranty because there was no other options out there. That was the court's understanding. That's how we did these. So now we're going to change that to something that's correct because of Maggie's looking into it. And I'm great with that. However, I've got two parties in Dennis that started this process under our old process of just bringing it to the court, you would get a warranty, a deed without warranty. They've expended some money on a survey already. So when I go to them and say, hey, guess what? We're not doing it that way anymore. You've got to follow this process. And they can choose, okay, we'll follow that process, so they can choose to say, wow, we would have never have done this had we known you were going to change the rules in the middle of the process. We've already spent money, and we can't move forward because we can't afford to buy it. We can't afford to get an appraisal. So I would like for them to either be grandfathered, which may not be doable, or to get the money back that they've spent up to this point, which may be a couple $1,000. I don't know what the circuit.
I think it's my limited stuff in real estate, even though it's a deeded warranty or a non-deeded warranty, and I got some of each, that's still your land. Until somebody will come back to Commissioner Court and protest it, it's still their land. So really, they got all free. They don't have to go to the next step. They still have a non-deeded.
No, it's the county's.
It hasn't done
Property, it's not been done.
It's not been done.
Well, we did a few of them.
Yeah.
These two have not been done since we discovered that it was incorrect.
So let's don't get too far off in the weeds, because like we're talking now about something that's not like the item on the agenda. We certainly can bring something back to discuss, like
What to do in
what
this
to
case.
do with that. But right now, I mean, we're on the item is the procedure and the process. And we can't sit up here and decide what we're gonna do on another case or all of that, something that we've done, because it's not on here. I mean, I know the issue, I get the issue, But that's something that we'll have to come back and look at. I think, you know, we have looked at it some, and we'll just have to have a further discussion on that piece of it, but
Okay.
I don't think grandfathering is an option, because this is the procedure that we have. I mean, we can't do it wrong one more time, say it's okay, just grandfather it. We do the wrong
I
thing.
understand that.
But I certainly don't mind bringing an item.
I just want us to consider a recourse if we can, at some point.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Well, we'll have further discussion about that. That's,
Okay.
we'll do that.
I will make a motion that we approve the setting of fees, timelines, and approve an application process to close, abandon, and vacate a public road in Medina County.
And just for clarity, in setting those timelines and the fees, you are setting the 6 months.
6-month timeline and a $250 fee.
And also the current appraisal. So the survey and the appraisal are more than 6 months old.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
correct?
survey and appraisal, not more than 6 months.
Okay, so I have a motion, as stated by Commissioner Lynch and seconded by Commissioner Walner. Is there any other discussion?
Can I get some clarification on step 2? There's a section in there that says an approved closure will result in a road or a portion of the road being closed.
Which one are you on?
The third one from the bottom.
Okay.
It's the easiest way to describe it. And it says all abutting property owners must agree. Now I'm going to use this as an example. So you say you have a road that's a mile long, okay? And you have abutting property owners right here, they want to close the road, but that prevents these other property owners back here from getting to their property.
Well, they have to agree.
Okay.
This is 100% of the people that have.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But it says in bold letters, all abutting property owners must agree. So it's not, the only portion that wants to be closed is right here, but you have other property owners back here.
It's not gonna happen.
These are not abutting, only these are abutting right here. So,
Well, then it's access to that road, you would be cutting off their access.
correct.
Yeah.
But the way that it reads,
Well, we're talking about the entirety of the road, and that's what we read, you know,
Okay.
when I started looking at some of the stuff, you can't do half of an alley halfway in, because you're
Right.
stopping alleys, you gotta have, on the bottom line, everybody has to agree to say, no, we want the entirety of this closed.
It's 100% or nothing at all.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
It does say 100% participation.
Right. Yeah, so, yeah, if you're cutting anybody off anywhere, anybody objects in the back, and also this one requires 100%, everybody has to vote aye. It's a
Same thing as we're doing here.
unanimous.
Yeah, but, I mean, your question is the whole road or just the part that these property owners on either side
Yeah.
close off?
Well, you
But it's the
could-
entire road.
okay.
Maggie?
I also wanted to point out on the draft order that I prepared for y'all, on the first page of that, you know, it spells out the findings and the considerations that Commissioners Court must make when making their decision. And according to the Texas Transportation Code, under contest, a Commissioners Court may not close, abandon, or vacate a road over the objection of abutting landowners, or the portion of the road to be closed, abandoned, and/or vacated provides the only ingress to or egress from another landowner's property. And so that person, even if they don't abut the road, but it provides the only ingress, egress, they would have standing to contest it. And so that would be a factor, and that's on the draft order why we try to include all the considerations and the things the court needs to think about when making its decision.
So here, if you want a road closed, you better be neighborly with the neighbors. I mean, we have that one in your, that we talked in one neighbor wants it done, and the other goes, no, and what did we say? It's like, well, the neighbor said no. I mean, you can't do it, so.
I read the same thing with categories.
Yeah.
It's got to be 100% done and all.
Judge, so
Yes.
on the motion, you want that to include the 6-month timeline, $250 fee, and an appraisal?
It's, the appraisal has to be, no, it can't be more than 6 months old. The survey can't be more than 6 months old, and then the application fee is $250.
Okay.
Thank you, Maggie, for the explanation.
Absolutely.
14.
Yes, okay, we're gonna go back, actually, we're going back to 13. We got the copies there.
Did we take a vote? We need to vote
No,
on
we need to vote.
Oh, hello, I guess we should vote.
Yes.
All right. All right, any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, now back to 13. Discuss and take possible action to approve accounts payable. And I think you have all your pages now. You're only looking at the even, numbers now.
Make the motion that we approve accounts payable. Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Lawler, second by Commissioner Lynch to approve the accounts payable. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Back to item 14, discuss and take possible action to approve the disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting.
Okay, so fuel, dental, and utilities have been paid since last Commissioners Court in the amount of $37,308.48.
I'll make a motion to approve the disbursement of funds since the last Commissioners Court meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Castiglione, second by Commissioner Sitter to approve disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 16, discuss and take possible action to approve a comprehensive annual maintenance proposal from Lone Star Comfort Services for the following locations: is the Extension Service Office at 1506 Avenue M here in Hondo, and the Extension Service Training Building at 1508 Avenue M, Hondo. And you have those proposals in front of you from Lone Star Comfort. They've been doing other buildings for us. So it's $120 quarterly, And you can see they're doing all the HVAC maintenance, changing out the filters and all of the stuff that needs to be done on our HVAC equipment.
I make the motion that we approve a comprehensive annual maintenance proposal from Lone Star Comfort Services for the following locations: Extension Service Office, 1506 Avenue M in Hondo, and the Extension Service Trading Building at 1508 Avenue M in Hondo.
Second.
Have a motion as stated by Commissioner Lawler, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 17, discuss and take possible action to declare items from the following offices as surplus and/or salvage and authorize disposal. This is from the auditors, and it is salvage of a Microsoft Surface Pro, the Surface Charger, and the Surface Keyboard.
There's actually 2 Surface Pros that we're disposing of.
I make a motion that we declare items from the following offices as surplus and/or salvage and authorize disposal from the auditor's office.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Lynch, seconded by Commissioner Lawler, as stated by Commissioner Lynch. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Item 18 is court member announcements.
63 is doing great.
I was going to ask you about that. I wondered about it because I was wondering how you were doing over there. How about 2? How are you doing?
Two's doing very well. I'll be glad when the holidays are over. They're just getting started, these holidays. It's kind of tough working 2 or 2.5 days a week. But we did have a crew out pick up some land that got blown over the weekend. But other than that, Precinct 2 is doing very well.
Excellent. Commissioner Lawler, I hear it says you're Devine, where you are.
Precinct 4 is great. We are working on potholes, picking up trash, and we did have some trees blow over at a windstorm last night. Working on today.
Very good. How about you? Got anything over here?
I love how Commissioner Lynch just jumped right in there.
Got it far over with, yeah.
He ate lots of turkey because he's on.
Precinct 1 is doing really well. It is the holiday season, so you do have some of those short weeks. We've been doing a lot of pothole patching. We're still shredding on some of the roads since the grass is not growing as much anymore since it's getting colder. We did wrap up the fog sealed roads that we were doing in the fall. The temperature's got to a point where it's no longer viable to do that. We're continuing to cut trees, and we're doing a lot of our maintenance on our equipment right now, because sometimes it does take over the winter time to get all of that stuff done in preparation for when the weather gets warmer again, so we can get back out there and hit some of our major projects.
I just got a little short one. Since I got Precinct 2 representing in the back row back there, just to let y'all know, every road in Precinct 2 today is paved. That was 87 miles when we started that out. We've got the road tax going in, and we're going over some of the older roads a second time now. But we are the only precinct in the county, we are 100% paved out. And I thank y'all for the road tax, and that is going down. Hopefully it'll go away in the future. But that's what we're working on now. We do have a couple of big projects we need to knock out.
Excellent. The only thing I have announced at this morning is just don't forget that Thursday is our luncheon for the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all at one time, New Year's, whatever else, Easter next year, it's all combined into one. And that's at 11 o'clock on Thursday, so we hope we get to see everybody there. It's always a fun time.
I don't know about you, but I got 3 appointments on Thursday.
I'll double check.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, anything else? If not, we will stand adjourned. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for being here this morning.